Morning, everybody. We're getting ready to go very, very shortly. Just wanted to check, make sure we've got everything going well. I'll let you know I see you out here. I want to thank you very, very much for being here. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Instagram. I appreciate you all being here for this morning's podcast. And welcome. I am Mitch Race, and I want to welcome you to the Mitch Race podcast. I help younger men. I help younger men build value and seasoned men regain clarity by rebuilding the self-image that drives their decisions, confidence, and income. And today we're going to talk about 6 ways your ego masks an identity crisis. Uh, Listen, we've all been told to be more confident. If you're a newbie, you're faking it until you make it. If you're a has-been, you're resting on your laurels. We think self-esteem is about doing better. What it's actually about is about, what if it is though, excuse me, what if it's really about actually knowing who you are? What if it's actually about knowing who you are? Identity determines decision. The problem is our ego flat out lies to us, masking a deeper identity crisis. It tricks you into thinking it's not you, it's the circumstances. In this episode, I'm sharing 6 ways your ego is telling you it's not an identity problem when it actually is. Number 1, it makes you think winning is the goal. If I just get the promotion, the car, the partner, the money, I'll feel worthy. You're defining yourself by what you do, not who you are. When the winning stops, you feel empty. Self-esteem is who you are, not what you've accomplished. Number 2, ego keeps you stuck in the comparison game. If you're thinking, I should be further along, I've done this so many times, and I've done this so long now, I should know, I know exactly what it is I'm doing. Why aren't I further along in the game? You're using external validation to tell you who you are, and that leads to insecurity. Comparing yourself to the curated lives of others is a fast track to feeling like a failure. That's the bottom line. Number 3, ego may be telling you it's not an identity problem by making you value toughness over truth. Ego says, I don't need your help. I'll just work harder. You have identified being a man with being emotionally void or isolated. You are hiding your authentic self to appear strong. The big idea on this, the bottom line, true confidence is acting in accordance with your values, not pretending you don't have feelings. That's not going to do it. It masks it. Number 4, ego may be causing you to believe, I am what I did. That's labeling, and that's a focus on past accomplishments. If you're thinking, I lost my job, I went through a divorce, therefore I'm a failure, you internalized a temporary failure as a permanent identity. You subscribe to the has been and don't know the who is. Your actions are not your identity. You can change your actions without changing your worth. On this point, it's worth sharpening the lens and seeing that actions are behaviors, not identity. You can be a worthy person while still engaging in habits or actions that no longer serve you, such as working a dead end job, staying in a poor situation, bad relationship, or having unhealthy routines. Changing these actions is a choice to align your life with value, not a process of earning your worth. I'd like to repeat that. Changing these actions is a choice to align your life with value, not a process of earning your worth. I hope you get that. That is very valuable in establishing your value as a person. Number 5, ego may be making you say yes to everyone but yourself. If I keep everyone happy, I'm good. You're engaging in people pleasing or taking on a false self to stay safe or liked, losing your own desires in the process. This is something that has plagued me for a long time. And it's something that plagues us because we are not able to separate who we are from what we do. It doesn't make you a bad person because you say no. It makes you a strong person and it makes you a person who appreciates yourself and knows your value. And you should know that it's okay and you should be okay with saying no. I think that people will more appreciate you, in fact, and if they don't, it's okay. But I think that people tend to appreciate the authenticity in you if you're able to tell them, look, I can't do it. If you're overextending yourself, because sometimes we get into situations where we overextend ourselves to people and we end up really not able to fulfill the thing that the person wants us to fulfill. And when we're unable to do that, it helps us, it makes us lose trust. We actually lose value, and we also cause the other person, uh, uh, it could be, very problematic for the other person. Because if you told them you were going to make them a cake and they're waiting for that cake and you don't come through and you told them that you would do that, you promised them, or if you promise them that you would loan them money and they're used to you maybe loaning them money, then they're going to be expecting you to do just that. So they have a high expectation of you fulfilling that than you do um, in not fulfilling that. So it becomes again, it's about engaging in people pleasing on whatever level that you kind of like engage in that level of people pleasing at. And I'm spending a little bit more time on this because I do know for a fact this is something that the ego does. The ego will tell you, oh, no, you got this. You can do this. Say yes one more time. When really the thing that you need to be saying to yourself one more time is, I'm going to throw my heart over the bar one more time. But the ego won't allow you to do that, but it will allow you to people please. And that's something that I think is really kind of like an important thing to see how this, how the ego actually battles identity. And we could talk more a lot. We can talk more about ego in another show. And I'd like to actually do that because I talk a lot about uh, self-image, self-esteem, self-confidence. When really there's another self, which is ego. So I'd like to kind of like go into that. And I just kind of just wanted to just lean in a little bit on the people pleasing aspect of that because I find that particularly harmful. So the bottom line is this: you you can't have high self-esteem if you don't know what you actually value. I'm going to coast in. I'm going to now coast in to number 6. It causes you to second guess every decision. Ego masks an identity crisis by causing you to second guess your decisions. You might have a thought, what if I make the wrong choice? Here's the issue. When your internal compass, which is your identity, that's your internal compass, is broken, you can't trust yourself. You are waiting for someone else to confirm you're on the right path. And here's the bottom line: identity brings clarity. A strong sense of self allows you to make decisions without panic, without stress, without overtaxing you, without overwhelming you. So I hope today that you really got great value from today's podcast. 6 ways your ego masks an identity crisis. If you got value, I'm asking you to please subscribe, share, save, and I want to give you back the rest of your day because I want you all to have an outstanding Palm Sunday. I just wanted to come here and bring you some really great value on this topic, um, that is identity and self-image. I love bringing you these ideas of self-image and self-esteem and helping you to build your confidence. I want to thank you all because I know that you're watching via YouTube and you might have comments and you might have questions. Please just put them in the box. I will see if I can hop over to look at some of these things. But basically, what I'm hoping that you're able to do today is I'm hoping that you're able to take away some of these things, some of these concepts on what maybe keeps you stuck, whether it's an identity or your confidence levels, whatever it is, your self-efficacy. And I'm hoping that you're able to take some of these ideas and incorporate these things into your life because they are valuable. So reframe your vision, reframe your value, reframe your victory. I hope that you all have an amazing day. Thanks again, Facebook. Thanks again, Instagram. And thanks again, YouTubers, for being out there for me. I really, really appreciate you all out there. And I want you to know I see you. Have an outstanding Sunday. See you all soon. And thank you. And thank you, Jean Michel, for being there on Instagram.